Good morning, and let me just say how appreciative we are that you are testing the system and giving us your feedback. So we really appreciate your time. This video is just to clarify a couple of things to get you started. There's some terminology that we use internally that they have put in the UAT environment, the testing environment, and which you may need a little bit of clarification on. Plus, I wanted to make sure that you knew exactly what we were asking you to test. Um, what you see will most likely change before it is put into production. So please do not worry, but I think the steps will pretty much be the same as far as how to register. Please note that your agency will most likely already be in the system when the system goes live because we are going to migrate that data over. So typically people who or agencies that would register this way are new to us agencies, new to OCJP agencies. They've not had a contract with us before. So that's typically who would use this. So there's three ways to log in here. As you can see, number one is if you have login already, which we don't for this particular scenario. The second is if you are a state employee, you would log in here. And then, of course, the third is if you need to register or you want to find funding opportunities, you would click here on the lower right-hand side. So we are going to click here on the lower right-hand side. And it's going to bring us to this screen. And this is where you have a little bit of unfamiliarity with the language. So authorizing agency is an agency that typically, they're typically governmental agencies, and they're organized by departments. So for instance, Metro Nashville has may have a sheriff's department, a police department, a library, and we may have a grant contract with each of those, with the sheriff's department, the police department, and the library. And so our internal language refers to the people that we actually do the work of the program. They're referred to as implementing agencies. And Metro Nashville would be the authorizing agency. So all of those departments, they fall under the umbrella of Metro Nashville, and Metro Nashville is the authorizing agency. And then the sheriff's office would be an implementing agency, the police department would be an implementing agency, and the library would be an implementing agency. So most nonprofits, if not all, don't have that type of organization. So you will just be, if you're new to OCJP, you would just log in as the authorizing agency. But authorizing agency is the highest level. It's the agency that we actually have the grant contract with. It's the main organization. But it is, and that would probably be most nonprofits. And let's get started. So let's assume that I am a nonprofit. The easiest way for you to register is to go in here and put in your EIN number. Now, if you will bear with me for a minute, I have to go to select my data, which is on another screen, so you can't see it. So I'm going to put this one in. 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. Let's see what happens. And so it pulled it up, Castle Luz. You can see it right there. And so I could select this, and it would automatically fill it out for me. I could add other contact information if I wanted to. So for nonprofits, probably the easiest way for you to register is through your EIN number. If you don't want to go in through that way, then you could go in as the organization registration authorizing agency. And here you would just fill out make sure you fill out as many of these fields as you can. The red starred ones are necessary, are mandatory. You must put something in them. And then you have all the other fields. So we would put in this information. So I don't have an EIN number. Guess I can make one up. But I don't want the system to pull that data. You put in your DUNS number, your UIE. Are you a state agency? No. Put in my address. Put in my phone number. Email. Nonprofit. Partnership. Copy address. Does not appear to be working. I would think that would just, oh, it did. Excuse me. It's down below here. I'm going to put these in. I'm not a robot. And submit. Invalid email address. Registration complete. And it notifies you here that you'll receive an email with a link that you will use to create the password and log in. Don't forget to check your spam folder if there's any issues not receiving it. So let's go back. So that was, these are the two ways that the nonprofits will enter data or register. Again, nonprofits, I would start here first. If that does not work for you, you can come to the authorizing agency. If you are an implementing agency, so let's say that you are the library at Metro Nashville, and we're going to do a grant contract with you. So let me pull up their data. And so I would go on in here inside the implementing agency. And I would put in I'm still here. I'm just trying to find the information I need to plug in. I'm looking on a very big spreadsheet. There it is. I apologize. Let's see if what happens if we put the dash in here. And the UIE here is what the DUNS number is becoming. So when you use the system, it may be that you currently have a DUNS number, but there may be agencies when they log on, they don't have a DUNS, and so they will enter a UIE number. But the DUNS, these are the same thing. So I'm going to put in here the physical address of the implementing agency. So that is the library rather than the address of Metro Nashville and Davidson County office. And then, as always, remember that you need 4 digits. You need a phone number. And this is the phone number and the address of the project director. That's typically who we think of as the contact for the implementing agency. I don't know if they'll let me do this, but type of organization, governmental, county, yes, government entity. We're going to leave that blank, but you can enter these as you can see. Copy address. Work. And there we all are. Ah, Let's try. So you have to have the dash in there, and that's what it told us. And I thought I put this in there, but maybe I did not. And registration is complete. So now you could go back in on the login screen and do that. Now we'll do a governmental agent, or I'm sorry, we've done a nonprofit, we've done a governmental agency, and the only thing left to do is to talk about the test plan. So we want you to play around in the system as much as possible, record anything that you find. Here is the test plan that you've been given. These are links. So you're going to go, you can go in here and try to register through as the IRS, using the IRS number. You can try to register as an authorized agency, as an implementing agency. You can try to register a new user. So there's already an entity or an agency there in the system, and you just want to add somebody. And you can update and view your user profile and update and view your organization profile. And so we would like you to try to do all of those things. And you may have to make up some fiction. Perhaps you don't have an implementing agency, so that is okay if you can just try each one of these tabs and go through the steps and see what you find. And again, you're welcome to do any other testing you want to and report back to us on that. And we really appreciate it. We hope to send out a PowerPoint that has something you can reference on it, and we're going to try to send that out as soon as possible, but that may be delayed. So we wanted to get this out to you so you could see. If you have any questions, please contact me, and we really appreciate your time.